Hey everybody, this is Tony, Tainted Lord A7, and here's episode 3 of Have You Heard This, where I randomly pick out 6 albums from my collection and ask my viewers if they heard this, and talk about them as well. So let's go and get started. The first CD I'm going to show off and I picked out is Overthrash and the album Until Death. Now, just by the name, you kind of know what to expect. Though a Brazilian thrash metal band, that can be compared to bands like Slayer, Testament, Exodus, Creator, and early Anthrax. But Overthrash Until Death is just a really good mid-paced thrash metal album from a band that I feel should be talked about more and more people should know about them. So if you're into any of those bands that I mentioned, I definitely recommend check out Overthrash. Yeah, Overthrash and the album Until Death. A really solid thrash metal album from this band. So that's Overthrash Until Death. Really good stuff. Next up is Light the Torch and the album Revival. Now, Light the Torch is actually Devil You Know, but they changed their name to Light the Torch and released this album under the new name. Yeah, they released this album under the new name, Light the Torch, and this is Revival. And this is a solid metalcore album. If you if you heard of a band called Killswitch Engage, this band is very comparable to them, with the guitars being huge and gigantic sounding. Yeah, the guitars being huge and gigantic sounding and heavy as hell, and the vocals being very melodic and huge and breathtaking. But yeah, this is just a solid metalcore album and a really enjoyable release. So if you if you if you if you're into bands like Killswitch Engage, I definitely recommend checking out Light the Torch and the album Revival. It's just a fun, enjoyable, heavy as hell metalcore album. Definitely recommend this band and this album. So that's Light the Torch Revival. Really good stuff. Okay, the next two bands are two technical death metal bands. The first one being Psychroptic in their self-titled album. Um, yeah, this is just a solid technical death metal album with a very crunchy guitar sound, very riff driven, but not like too over the top, but a very solid, a very solid release when it comes to technical death metal. It's very heavy and riff driven, and yeah, this is an excellent release. So that's Psychroptic's self-titled album. If you're into technical death metal, definitely check out this album. And that's Psychroptic's self-titled album. And the second one is Replicant. Yeah, Replicant Negative Life. Another solid technical death metal album, but with a more grittier and dirtier sounding guitar sound, at least to my ears. It's not too over the top, but it gets the job done. And like I said, the guitars is more murkier and dirtier sounding, but I think it really adds to the music. And the vocals on here is very throaty as well. So so if you're into another awesome technical death metal album, definitely check out Replicant's Negative Life. Very solid album. Okay, next up is Ancients, spelled with two I's, and their second album, Voice of the Void. A very, very good progressive metal album that borderlines heavy metal. Is very excellently played, well played, um, very riff driven, and the guitar playing is just superb. It's just an amazing, amazing progressive metal, heavy metal album. And if you never heard of Ancients, I definitely recommend check out this band and their second album, Voice of the Void. And if I remember correctly, they also released a new album recently. I think it was called Beyond the Reach of the Sun. Yeah, Beyond the Reach of the Sun's the new full length album that came out recently. But I definitely recommend check out Voice of the Void first, check out the older stuff. But yeah, if you're into like heavy metal, progressive metal, I definitely recommend Ancients, Voice of the Void. Good stuff. And the last album that I chose is Valenfile, Fear Those Who Fear Him. And this album is like HN2 sounding death metal. Very fast, angry, aggressive, very thrashy, and in your face, and just wants to beat the crap out of you. Musically, of course. So if you're into some HM2 sounding death metal or death thrash in general, I definitely recommend check out Valenfile and the album Fear Those Who Fear Him. A very angry and just an angry and aggressive release that's heavy as balls. Awesome album. I cannot say any I can't say enough good things about this release. This is just awesome. So yeah, Valenfile, Fear Those Who Fear Him. Excellent album. And that would be episode 3 of Have You Heard This? Let me know what you think and let me know if you heard any of these albums before. And hopefully I could do another fourth episode sometime soon. So thanks for watching and see you next time, whenever that would be.